welcome to the world of making your own glue. I like the idea of making my own glue. I don't use Titebond when I Sinew back, and I don't use Knox. I believe Knox is made out of pig parts, so that's an issue if you're going to sell your boat to, or try to get it into the hands of somebody who is of the Muslim faith, or possibly Jewish, I'm not sure. But regardless of that, I think it's cool to use the scraps from ripping Sinew, or actually processing it, because I don't rip it. That sounds so hardcore. Well, before I start, I'm just going to say that I have to take a break. I've been watching several really knowledgeable people preparing Sinew and Sinew backing on YouTube while I've been working on this bundle. I'm about halfway there. I'm going to be doing probably a mulligan bed bow and Sinew back it. So I still have this many to work through, and these are ready. I differ in technique from the other two fellows that I've watched who are fine bow makers. I don't size my strands. This is a mixed bag of size, because I do feel that you get the maximum amount of overlapping if it's more random in size instead of like all long. And I can see that just from the look of my bows, that they're even along the surface, and that's a good key to show that you've got good overlap and a good layer. Some people do it one way, I do it another way. Some people soak their tendons when they process it, other people do it dry like me. That's a matter of technique. But what I have is simply a pot of water. Now when you're making your own glue from all the scraps that you develop, if you process your Sinew in a good way, the leg tendons, you're going to have a minimal amount of waste. However, you do have waste, and I just let it pile up. So I have the scraps from, I don't know, maybe 100 tendons. So there's a piece of rawhide in there. I don't need that. I could probably make glue, but I'm not going to use it. There we go. And so I'll take my Sinew scraps. This is just a wad. Look at that, all that stuff. And I'm not even going to say I'm simmering it, because I have it in the lowest possible heat so I don't break down the protein chains. And this is going to take a while. This is going to take a lot of hours to break down those Sinew scraps. And the low heat, the water, just simmering it for maybe, I don't know, 20 hours. Might take 20 hours. After that time, you are going to get little curly bits that you can easily strain off, and then you'll just have a pure, thick liquid. If you let it to evaporate, you could have a workable glue right here. But my next step, after I simmer it down, then straining out all the little curly bits, because I want to have kind of a purified glue. Then I'll have a shallow tray, and it'll be thick by the time I'm done. Shallow tray, and put it in there, plastic, like I use those shallow pans that you use for putting your boots on when you come into an entryway. I'll put it in there and then just set a fan over it, and just let it dry until it turns into a hard sheet and kind of curls up. It doesn't stick to the plastic. Then you can just pull it up, and it'll store almost indefinitely in moderate to low humidity, just as a sheet, and then you can just crack it apart and then soak it and turn it back into glue. The neat thing about this is I know where my bow came from, 100%, as far as its construction. B50 string, if I use B50 and not twisted rawhide or a Sinew string, the B50 came from Pine Hollow longbows. But the glue and the tendons, they all came from white-tailed deer. There were no miscellaneous pig parts from the slaughterhouses involved in it. And so there we go. I get the Sinew, I've got the glue, and I better go back, have a cup of coffee, instant, hey Freddy, and keep ripping Sinew. I say ripping, I gently coax it apart because I don't want to have a lot of scraps. Oh, red walls and bad lighting. It's not the end of times, Diega. It's just my video quality, red walls and poor lighting. Thank you.